Hello, everybody, and welcome again to another edition of Movie Masters. I am your host, Movie Master Mike, and I am back and just as mediocre as ever. And it's been a couple of weeks, but I went to the Phoenix Comic Con a couple of weeks ago is when it was. I went on Saturday. I only went Saturday. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I only had enough money to go Saturday. And it was just me and my dad. Nobody else came. My girlfriend had to work. She got a new job. And my friends couldn't make it, but it was cool, just father and son time. He's a big geek too, so he has a blast. He goes every year with me. But yeah, it's been a couple weeks, but I just wanted to get it out there that I went, that I had a blast. I got to meet some cool celebrities and get some autographs from them. Just had a great time. It's Phoenix, so it's hot. It's the end of May. It was like the 27th or whatever it was when I went. So it was a couple of weeks ago. But it was my first year dressing up. This is the third year in a row that I've been to the Phoenix Comic Con. This was the first time I dressed up because the last 2 years it's been in June, I think. So it's way too hot. It's way too hot in Phoenix. It's silly how hot it is in Phoenix. But I decided, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to dress up anyway. I dressed up like the Joker. I'll be posting some pictures of it at the end of this. My dad and I don't take a whole lot of pictures. We were actually looking for specific trading cards. That's what we do every time we go to the Phoenix Comic Con and the Tucson Comic Con and any comic book shop. We're always looking for 1996 Marvel Masterpieces, and we're missing 13 cards for a complete set, and they're impossible to find, and if you do find them, they're going to be $1 million. But, so that's what we did. We were like on a mission, so like I took some pictures with other people, but I never like whipped out my camera to take other pictures, and my camera on my phone really sucks, so I don't really take pictures with mine, so every picture I have is with my dad's iPhone. But it was a great time. We showed up. There was a lot of celebrities there. There was Ron Perlman, Allison Hannigan, who I heard was charging the most money for an autograph. But Jason Momoa was there, Christopher Lloyd, Lou Ferrigno was there, Michael Shanks was there, Barry Bostwick, just all these people, all these celebrities. And the Phoenix Comic Con the last couple of years, it was this huge floor in the basement of the convention center, this huge room shaped kind of like an L kind of, and at the end of the one of the parts of the L was all the celebrities at their tables. You stood in line to get their autographs and stuff. And last year it was so packed because the rest of the con's on this floor, all the tables and artists and shops and people just selling things, and it was so crowded with everybody rushing, in line for autographs and then going to wherever they're going after getting autographs, and then everybody just at the con getting artwork and trinkets and whatever, t-shirts and comic books and stuff. So this year they decided we're going to put all the celebrities up at the top floor and have the con just bigger in the basement floor, so we don't have to waste all that space with where the celebrities were, and we can put more tables and sell more things down there. So it seemed a lot less crowded. Like I remember, like when we first got there, I was like, wow, there's like nobody here in comparison to last year, because it was like shoulder to shoulder. You could barely move last year. It was ridiculously crowded. So for them to move the celebrities upstairs, when you wanted to go stand in line to meet these people and get their autographs and photos or whatever, you went upstairs. So the con level was nice and wide open, because when you were down there for that, and when you were up there with the celebrities, you were up for that. It made it so much nicer. I mean, it's like you had to spend time going up and down, but it was the smartest move they could have done, is separate the two so everyone wasn't in the same giant room and it wasn't too crowded. So that was nice. I wanted to get Summer Glau's autograph. She was there. That's who I wanted to get, because I got Jewel States a couple of years ago, and I wanted to get, the women of Firefly, but her line was so long. It was ridiculous, because she's been in Firefly, Terminator, the 4400, Arrow, lots of geek stuff. So her line was way too long. And when I went up there, she was on break or lunch or whatever, so I would have had to stand in line for like an hour before she even got back, and then stand in line even longer while she's signing everyone's autograph and having a few words with them. And I'm like, there's no way I'm spending that much time waiting to get her autograph. So there was like, maybe just 10 people or 20 people in Christopher Lloyd's line. And last year I got John Rhys Davies' autograph, because I messed up and didn't go on Sunday, which was the only day Stan Lee was there because I wanted Stan Lee's last year. But I ended up getting like another elderly celebrity because it's like, well, he's not going to be doing these cons forever, but these young people, they'll be doing this for the rest of their lives. So I was like, Christopher Lloyd, he's like next oldest that I really want an autograph from. So I went and got Christopher Lloyd's autograph. He was so nice. I asked, because sometimes you can ask like if you not just write your name but like a little line from like your favorite movie of theirs or whatever. And his like press agent or whoever he was saying like no, because he really writes his name out like really nicely and completely, because a lot of people when they just do an autograph it's just a few scribbles, it barely looks like anything, but he like you can actually read it, it's nice cursive, Christopher Lloyd. So he's like, he'd be here all day writing his name all nice for all these people and a quote from a movie or whatever. He's like, so it's just an autograph. I was like, all right, that's cool, because he's an old guy, but I love him. I love Back to the Future. It's one of my favorite things ever. And Star Trek, obviously, The Addams Family, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, all these things. Camp Nowhere. I'm not sure if anybody knows what that movie is, but I loved Camp Nowhere as a kid. I watched it all the time. It was one of my favorite movies to watch. And the kid in the main kid in the movie reminded me of like a young Michael J. Fox, and then Christopher Lloyd's in it, so it was kind of like Back to the Future, and Biff was in it. So, but it was just so much fun. I love Christopher Lloyd in it. I love that movie. What's her name? Jessica Alba was actually in it. She was just one of the other kids going to this fake summer camp in the background. She was like this super tall girl. They're all in like 9th grade or something, but so like, and the photo I got for him to sign was like the poster for Back to the Future 3, because I feel like Back to the Future 1 was Marty's movie, Back to the Future 2 was Biff's movie, and Back to the Future 3 was Doc's movie. So like, it's not my favorite of the 3, but it was Doc's movie, and I'm getting Doc's autograph, so that's when I got him to sign. And I could have brought the trilogy box set for him to sign, but I was like no, I don't want to carry that around. And because I got my autographs at the end of the day, but his press agent or whoever that guy was saying like this is his favorite of the 3. And I was like, oh, that's cool, because I feel like it's his movie. He's like, yeah, I think he didn't really like talk to me a whole lot because the line was moving pretty quickly, but he was saying that was Christopher Lloyd's favorite of the 3. It was probably because it was Doc's movie. He's the one that fell in love and stuff like that. But he was super cool. He was so nice. He had the long hair and everything, and I got to shake his hand. It was really cool. Really nice guy. My dad got to meet Barry Bostwick because he caught him coming out of the bathroom going back to his table, and my dad's like, oh hey, shook his hand, patted him on the back and stuff. Some of you might not know who Barry Bostwick is. He was the mayor in Spin City with Michael J. Fox, and he's been in tons of things. But Lou Ferrigno, I didn't have time to go get his autograph, but I did get to see him. He's still huge. That guy is ripped. It's like he's bigger than he was when he was on the Incredible Hulk show. It's ridiculous. My dad got Michael Shanks' autograph because my dad loves Stargate, SG-1, and all the TV shows and the movies, and so he got Michael Shanks' autograph. Because I think he got somebody else from Stargate a couple of years ago. I forget who, though. But then my dad said, like, oh, I saw Jason Momoa, heading back to his table carrying a bunch of beers, and I asked, to shake his hand. Jason Momoa kind of shrugged his shoulders, looking like, I can't really shake your hand, I'm carrying 5 beers. But I ran out of cash. I went to get more cash to go get Jason Momoa's autograph because there was nobody in his line. And my dad just saw him go back to his table with beer. But by the time I got back to his table, he'd walked off because he brought his family, so his agents or whoever these people are that are there were like, oh, he has his family here, so he takes breaks and things like that. And then he went to go do the photo shoot just a little while ago, and he'll be back in 30 minutes. So I got him to sign a photo, this really cool looking photo of him as Khal Drogo, because that's what I mostly know him as. I never watched Stargate Atlantis. I didn't watch that Red Road show that he was on. I did watch Conan the Barbarian, which I thought he was great in the movie. I think he would make a great Conan if they were to have continued, but that movie I don't think was all that great. Kind of a bland fantasy movie, and a lot of the times I think casting is bad. Like, Ron Perlman played his dad. Jason Momoa has this Samoan quality to him. He doesn't just look like a buff white guy like Arnold Schwarzenegger was. He's got this exotic look. I mean, he played Khal Drogo. He's a fucking badass. but Ron Perlman's like this huge curly-haired white guy. Like, it's just like, that's your dad? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I hate, like, in the Scorpion King, how, like, the villain in ancient Sumeria and Egypt was a white guy with a mullet. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But so I stood around waiting for Jason Momoa to come back. He did come back with some beer, and he was drinking Sierra Nevada beer, which is a beer made in Arizona, and actually took his beer cap from one of his beers that he was drinking. So I have that little memento from him. But he was a really nice guy. He was so cool. He was big too. Like, my dad was like, oh, he looked really small from, like, you know, kind of far back, but he was big. You know, I shook his hand. I got him to sign the thing, and he said he wrote my name on it, and, you know, as he's signing it, it's upside down. So I'm like, what is that your name, like in Dothraki or something? And he's like, no, that's your name. He's like, that's just how I write. And he shows me his arm. And he has a tattoo on his arm, and it probably says his name or his daughter's or son's name or somebody's name, and but it's like this little tiny writing. It's basically just a bunch of dots. But if you really look at it, like, you know, it'll say the letters, you know, of my name. But I was like, oh, okay, I see it now. Like, that's cool. Like, so he was really cool. You know, it was cool that he was just, you know, hanging out with his family, drinking beers, meeting all these fans and stuff. He was wearing like a cowboy hat, and not like a huge, like, 50-gallon cowboy hat from like cartoons and stuff, but he seemed like a really, really, really cool guy. Like, that's the type of guy that you want to hang out with and drink beers with, is Jason Momoa. He was a really cool guy. But I got some other things. This is the one con I've been to where I didn't pick up any artwork because I just have nowhere to put it. I barely have anywhere to put these 2 photos that I got autographed. I still have artwork from a few cons ago of the Ninja Turtles that I never got framed and hung up. It's just like I have no space left over. I mean, I have plenty of space throughout the house, but my girlfriend's not going to let me take over the house. I have my man cave, and that's all I get for this stuff. I persuaded her to make the living room the Beatles room, but my man cave is where all the nerdy stuff is, and I just have nowhere to put 11 by 17 pieces of art, so, or 11 by 10 or whatever the size of the artwork is. But I did get a t-shirt of my YouTube channel. I got it made at the stand that was just printing out t-shirts and stuff, so that was pretty cool. Like I said, a lot of people took photos of me because I was dressed like the Joker, and it's a fairly good Joker suit. I need a better vest, as you'll see in these photos. It's just like a black vest that I have. I need to get like a different colored one, either purple, green, or, you know, whatever. But I have a black fedora hat. I'm not going hatless. I had to wear a different shirt and tie this time that I normally wear because I'm the Joker at the Tucson Comic Cons and for Halloween and stuff. I usually wear a orange shirt with a turquoise tie, which is kind of like Jack Nicholson Joker, but I have like the black makeup and stuff like that, like Heath Ledger Joker, and it's like a Heath Ledger coat that I have. But I left my tie in Tucson when I went to the Phoenix Comic Con, so I had to go out and buy a new tie, and I couldn't find a turquoise tie, so I ended up getting a green shirt and a purple tie up in Phoenix before the con. So I had, you know, a complete costume. But so it looks pretty good with the vest. It's just like a black vest. It doesn't look all that good, but I always have a black fedora, and I need to get like a purple fedora. So it's still a costume in the works, but it's good enough. I have purple pants. It looked pretty good. And I'm making, each time I'm the Joker, like I change it up just a little bit, like with the makeup. I'm making it more and more like almost like an insane clown posse type clown makeup, where it's not just some black around the eyes. It's got more design to it. But it still has like the red lips and stuff, but I'm trying to make it my own interpretation of it. But normally I do cross Ledger and Nicholson Joker and stuff, but you'll see in the photos. But all in all, I had a great time at the Phoenix Comic Con. It's getting bigger and bigger every year. The costumes are crazy. The people are nice. I love looking at artwork and meeting these cool celebrities and just having a good time among all these other people that are into this type of thing. You know, seeing all the different things you can buy and do, and all the panels, and oh my god, like there's just so much to do at these cons. I'm going to try to go to multiple days next year because I don't have enough time to look at the whole con, the floor of the con, meet the celebrities, you know, get something to drink and something to eat. And the longest line I stood in was at Starbucks, and half the line was outside in the 105-degree weather. I'm wearing a coat and a shirt and a vest, and oh my god, it was so hot. But to do all these things, and then try to get to the panels and activities, there's costume contests every couple of hours. There was a Lego thing that you could go to. There's all kinds of just events and things, and at the hotels that are around. It's not just the floor of the con. You can buy some artwork and get a signature, and there's so much to do, and in one day you just can't do it, especially since my dad and I like to look for specific things. But it's so much fun. I'm definitely going to try to go 2 days next year, at least 2 days, because I was up there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I came back to Tucson on Sunday because I happened to just get those days off from work. But my dad couldn't go to all those days, and I didn't want to just have him drop me off, or whatever, and not spend any time with my dad because I don't get to see him all the time. So I spent the weekend up there with my dad. But hopefully next year we'll be able to go for multiple days and get more done. We can do the floor of the con one day and autographs, and then do the panels and the costumes and all that Lego stuff the next day, and just hang out and have a good time and meet people and do more photos with people that we took and things. So I would totally suggest checking out the Phoenix Comic Con if you're in Arizona. The Phoenix Comic Con is way better than the Tucson Comic Con. Tucson Comic Con has no celebrities. It's really just artists and people selling their Star Wars toys and things like that. It's still a lot of fun. It's getting bigger and bigger. I can see in 5-6 years them getting some celebrities and not just the honky tonk man from WWF. But as of now, the tickets are cheap to get in. It's $20 to get in. And you just have a good time, hang out with other geeks and stuff. But the Phoenix Comic Con is totally worth it. If you're in Arizona, it's so much fun. I mean, there's not a whole lot to do in Arizona, so I would definitely check it out if you're into anything like this. And if you're just somebody that travels around to different Comic Cons, I mean, Phoenix is the 6th largest city in the country, so it's a pretty big Comic Con. Nothing like San Diego, but I'm working my way up to that one. Anyway, that's all I have to say about the Phoenix Comic Con. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out all my other videos, and hopefully I'll be doing more videos more often. I've been really busy after this Comic Con I went to. It's just been work and camping and this and that, just been real busy. And then Jurassic World came out, and I have a video of that, or a review of that posted, so check that out. And hopefully I'll be getting more things done. I want to do more commentaries and movies, just review on movies that I just happen to watch throughout the week, and things like that. New movies that are be coming out this year, like Ant-Man's coming out that I'm going to go see, things like that. Some more things to look forward to, and hopefully I can get them done, not just one video a month, but hopefully I'll be more involved in this as the year progresses. Now that it's summertime, things have slowed down for me at work, so hopefully I can get more of this done for your enjoyment and my own. Anyway, I'm your host, Movie Master Mike, reminding you to speak your geek and balance your geek with Geekilibrium.